Wednesday, and apologies that this is coming out a little bit later than normal. I have been playing catch up a bit this last week, but I'm excited to get into this bonus episode. This week, you guys, I'm not in the mood for feud. I'm in the mood for news. So we're going to be running through some trending topics in pop culture that have been coming across my For You page on TikTok or my Instagram Explore page that I really want to talk about for this bonus episode. Next week, or I should say this week, because it is technically Monday already, we will be covering another feud episode, and I'm going to be talking all about Sabrina Carpenter feuds. Mostly the two love triangles that she's allegedly been involved with. But this week we are going to be discussing Lana Del Rey's alleged boyfriend who runs alligator tours. Super random, but also super cool, I guess. We're going to talk about Skai Jackson. She is an actor who used to be on Disney Channel. We're going to discuss her recent arrest. Then we're going to get into Doja Cat and Joseph Quinn displaying some PDA. And finally, we'll end with Macklemore accidentally being the biggest snitch at his concert. Don't forget, if you enjoy the show and would like to support it, then please do leave a rating. You can also leave a written review on Apple Podcasts, and you can follow the show so you never miss an episode. I'm also on Instagram at Mood for Feud, and I'm always looking to chat pop culture, so send me a message there as well if you're up for it. And while we're on the topic of reviews and such, I do want to give a massive shout out to Kazima from Sweden. I hope I'm pronouncing your username correctly. But thank you so much for leaving me a written review. Honestly, I'm not even exaggerating when I say that it made my week reading that. It's just, it can feel a little bit lonely sometimes when it's just me sitting in a room speaking into the void. But yeah, reading your review really just made my week and made me feel so connected to my listeners. So thank you so much. And also, great episode suggestion. Kazima suggested that I cover the Harry and Meghan vs. the Royals feud, which I'm definitely interested to get into at some point. So I've added that to my big master list, and yeah, keep an eye out for it because I'll definitely be covering that at some point. Some other exciting news before I get into the trending topics. I've finally moved into an apartment in Brisbane, which is so nice. So this is like the first time that I'm not recording on some odd bit of furniture. I'm actually sitting at a desk for the first time in over 2 months, I think. So it's very exciting. I'm definitely a lot more comfortable. And it is also a bit echoey, so I think we're going to need to get some furniture in here at some point. But for now, it's just me and my desk, so I'm feeling pretty unstoppable today. Okay, let's get into the first topic. Obviously, I'm going to start off with my girl, Lana Del Rey. If you're new here, I am like a massive Lana stan, so pretty much anything that she does, I automatically have 20 opinions on it, and I just need to give everyone my 2 cents. But what's been trending recently this week is that she allegedly debuted a new boyfriend. His name is Jeremy Dufresne, and I think he's about 17 years older than her, so you know there is a little bit of an age gap, and he is a boat captain from Louisiana, and I think he does these like alligator tours where you can go on his boat, and then yeah, he is like very knowledgeable about the area and you can spot some alligators with him. So Lana actually met Jeremy back in 2019 when she did one of his boat tours. I think they are a little bit popular amongst the Hollywood celebs. I know Glenn Powell randomly has also done Jeremy's tour before. So yeah, maybe if you're nearby, you need to go and check that out. So here's what we know so far. Basically, Lana and Jeremy were spotted at a music festival holding hands, and they were also papped in London eating lunch together. So very quickly, people started speculating online that they were dating, which makes a lot of sense. I know that holding hands probably seems like a minor gesture to anyone that's an ordinary person, but when you're an A-lister and you're at a music festival where a bunch of people are going to recognize you and be filming you and whatever, and then you decide to hold someone's hand, like that in itself is kind of, in the celebrity world, making a public statement. Like they may as well have been holding a big neon sign saying like, we are dating at that point. So I don't think it's odd that people immediately assumed that Jeremy is Lana's boyfriend. I will say though, people were super quick to kind of judge because I guess, okay, first of all, he's older, right? And he's not in the entertainment industry, so it's not like he's had a ton of Botox or whatever. Like he looks 57, if you get what I'm saying. And the way people were just discussing this was kind of shit, not gonna lie. They were like, Lana, no, like what's wrong with you? Oh my god, not Lana, like dating some guy from a trash can, blah 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 blah. I have to say, if you are a Lana stan, you do deserve an honorary law degree, because I feel like we're always having to fucking defend her. But this isn't the first time that her dating history is like keeping us on our toes, okay? So I think if you have been a Lana fan for a long time, this isn't even shocking. And if anything, he is like exactly her type. He's older, he's rugged, he's an ordinary person. I feel like definitely recently, meaning like the last 5 to 6 years, she has been dating people who aren't on the same level as her in the entertainment industry, if you know what I mean. Like she's going for people who work a 9 to 5, who aren't quote unquote famous. And again, this kind of makes sense to me, because if we listen to a lot of the music that she's been putting out the last 5 years or whatever, she's constantly talking about wanting to like run away with someone, start a new life. Like she's very candidly been open that she's not obsessed with the entertainment world anymore. She wants to have a family. She wants to like be on a ranch somewhere in the middle of goddamn nowhere and paint some banisters and start a family, which is also why I need to like hurry up and make my way to one of her concerts, because you heard it here first. I swear to God, on like a random Tuesday one day, Lana Del Rey is just going to log off and we're literally never going to hear from her again. I reckon she's just going to like disappear from the face of the earth and start a life with like a Louisiana alligator tour guide. Do you know what I mean? Now, if I'm being perfectly honest, I did kind of think she was going to go with a cowboy. This is just because she's got her album Lasso coming out at some point, which she first of all said was going to be like a country music album, but now she said it's kind of progressed into something else, so I'm not really entirely sure what it is. But you know, her song with Quavo, Tough, that has like a very strong country element in it compared to her other music, I guess. And I just thought, she's met a cowboy. I was so convinced. I was like, she's gonna go live on a farm with a cowboy and like start her life. But again, Jeremy is still incredibly Lana coded. And yeah, the criticism online, I have to say, I feel like it comes from people who maybe are newer to Lana Del Rey, newer fans, or people who remember her from like 2012 and then just like haven't really followed her career after that, and maybe have this like perceived idea of Lana Del Rey, the persona, or this like old Hollywood glam person that she used to portray quite heavily. And so they're like, oh my god, what is she doing running around with a random guy from Louisiana? And it's like, no, he's actually so Lana coded. Like if you actually think about the guys in her music video, right? And I have to say, like if you look through her dating history, you can match her dates up to people in her music video based on like vibes. So like this guy, his vibe is, it's kind of giving like the guys in her Ride music video. In a lot of her music videos, the like male love interest or the muse in her videos isn't necessarily a conventionally attractive man. So yeah, I guess all that to say that I wasn't that shocked. Like this tracks. But let me know what you guys think. Now, while all of these stories about her new boyfriend were coming out and, you know, the internet sleuths were finding out who this man is and how they met, a Twitter user named Xanthia, she tweets like a post from a Lana Del Rey stan account that just says like, thoughts on Lana Del Rey's new boyfriend and Jeremy, and it shows some photos of them, and she reposts that and is like, this is how I find out my dad is dating Lana Del Rey, hello. And it's like the whole thing is written in caps, there's like a million question marks on it and stuff, and people very quickly are like, what? Girl, elaborate, like explain. And she puts out another post that says, he just texted our family group chat and asked how I found out. He doesn't understand social media. I'm in tears. This is not fucking real. Everyone is fighting. My mom is threatening to sue him. I can't believe this is happening right now. And this is because this person alleges her parents like very recently separated. So she also shares a screenshot of her conversation with her dad. She's like texting him, again in all caps, and she says, is there anything you want to tell me? And he replies, what? And then she just says, Lana Del fucking Rey, you just left mum a few weeks ago. Is this why? What the fuck, dad? And then he responds, oh yeah, meant to tell you. So obviously this goes viral very quick, because imagine if that is how you found out. I guess the thing is if she does date people who are, you know, not in the Hollywood space, who aren't in the entertainment industry and aren't famous or whatever, then they're going to have family members that maybe didn't know about this, which is so strange to think about. Some people were also a bit skeptical, like, are you being for real right now, or is this some kind of claim to 5 seconds of fame? But she responded to people doubting her story saying, I truly wish this was a joke. He left my mum officially a few weeks ago and said he was moving on to something bigger. Clearly he has. And then she puts out another statement shortly after saying she's not going to tweet about this anymore, and it's actually been a really horrible experience for her finding out like this, and she asks everyone to stop DMing her asking about Lana because she doesn't really talk to her dad all that much, so she doesn't really have a lot of information. Now, if this is true, and like if that actually is her dad, then that is absolutely wild. I would hate to find out that Lana Del Rey was dating my dad personally, and I'm obsessed with her. Like, I think she is the next best thing, the next closest thing to God that we have on earth, right? But even I would just absolutely hate that. I think luckily I don't need to personally worry about this, because my dad thankfully doesn't look like any of the guys that are in her music videos. But you know, take a look at your dad, watch Lana's music videos, and like just check that they don't look alike, because you could potentially be next. Now, I actually only saw this like yesterday or the day before, so this is hot off the press. An Instagram account, they're called Just in Life, they posted an update on Lana's alleged new relationship, saying, you know, this is Lana Del Rey's new boyfriend, and his daughter has been coming out with tweets saying that like she found out through the internet. And Lana actually comments on this, and she has one comment that just says no, and then another comment that says also, that's not his daughter on Twitter. First of all, I love that she still calls it Twitter, because if you follow this podcast, you know that I also still call it Twitter, and I will never call it X, and I just refuse to update my language. But the other thing that I love about this is like the account that posted about her relationship, it has like only just over 400 followers, and that's after Lana commented on one of their posts, so potentially they had even less before that. And I'm just like this is why I love her. There are so many big accounts with millions of followers that have been reporting the exact same stuff about Jeremy, and you know, the girl tweeting claiming that that's her dad. Like TMZ reported on it, People Magazine, The Cut, like big accounts. She doesn't choose to address the rumors there. Like, she's gonna find some little account with 400 followers and give them the scoop. Like, I don't know, I'm so obsessed with her. So I guess with her first comment just saying no, that was her like saying that her and Jeremy aren't dating, which could be true, but I guess we still have a lot of questions because they have been spotted out together. Maybe they haven't defined their relationship yet and that's what she means. And again, like, she's an A-list celebrity, so it's like anyone that you're out in public with holding hands with, of course we're going to assume that you're dating. But for now, at least, she's saying they're not dating, so it is all alleged, or I guess it's dispelled. I don't know. I guess we do know based on her claims that that girl really isn't that guy's daughter, which is so nuts. How do you just like, how can you be bothered to make up a lie that is so easily dispelled. And like, for what? For like 5 seconds of everyone paying you a lot of attention? I don't know. It always weirds me out when people lie on the internet about things that can so easily be disproven. Like, if I was going to hop on Twitter and make up something, I would make it so obscure that it would not be something you could Google or something that Lana Del Rey could shut down on a little Instagram account. It actually kind of made me think back to when Mariah was like claiming that she had Justin Bieber's baby, and it's like, again, this is something that could be disproven so quickly, so easily. There's literally a medical test that could prove whether or not you're right or wrong. Like, make it a bit more ambiguous, make your lie a little bit less easy to dispel. This is my hot tip for you if you were thinking of jumping on the internet today and lying. Like, don't lie about something that could be disproven, you know? Anyway, I'm interested to see what happens with this whole thing, if we'll ever see this man again, or whether it really was just like, I don't know, maybe she likes holding people's hands. I mean, imagine if everyone that Drew Barrymore held hands with, we were like, oh my god, she's dating them, because that woman holds hands with every single person that comes on her talk show. So maybe we were reading into it a little bit too much. Maybe we were too trigger happy with like, this is her new boyfriend. My biggest opinion on this though is like, stop saying that this is weird of her to date him. It's truly not. Okay, the next topic I want to talk about is Skai Jackson's arrest. So I'm actually so curious, do you guys know who Skai Jackson is? She was on the Disney Channel show called Jessie, the one with Debbie Ryan, and she played Zuri, which, by the way, her character was so cute. I was a little bit too old to watch Jessie, but I feel like my younger sister was like the perfect target audience for that show, so I did watch a lot of it just because it would be on at home. Yeah, she was super cute. She was like your classic Disney child star, you know, like funny, sassy, had a bit of pep. I don't know how old she was when she was on Jessie, but she was, I would place her like around 11. Like, she was young. Yeah, I don't think or see or hear much from her, and suddenly I blink and this article comes across my feed saying that earlier in August she was arrested for spousal battery at the Universal Studios theme parks. And I'm like, what? No, not Zuri from Jessie. Like, that can't be. But what happened was security saw like an altercation between Skai and her boyfriend, and she allegedly pushed him twice, and this is when police were called to the scene and Skai was detained. And then apparently the local sheriff's department like reviewed footage of the incident, and they identified Skai as the aggressor. Now, her bail was $20,000, which she did pay. So she was released, I think, like 3 hours after being detained. Like, it keeps saying like she pushed him, but I'm like, those must have been hard hitting pushes, right? For like security to feel the need to call the police. $20,000 bail. God damn. Now, the police did say that her boyfriend like declined medical attention, so he wasn't seriously injured, which is really good. And they both apparently also tried to downplay the situation and deny that there was any kind of physical altercation. But I guess because they have that video, they're like, no, like, you need to be tried. She is going to be formally sentenced in October, so I guess we might get some more information about the case then. But I guess for now, I'm just glad that her boyfriend is okay, and I hope that she is okay as well, because yeah, it's never a good sign to be fighting publicly like that. If I'm being perfectly honest, I'm worried for her. I think we're seeing her descend into a very familiar dark path that a lot of former Disney child stars have been on. I mean, she's definitely not the first, former Disney actor to end up being detained, and she probably isn't going to be the last one either. The other wild thing is that while all of this news about her arrest was coming out, it was also revealed that like her and her boyfriend are engaged, and they're also expecting a baby together. So I really hope that this whole situation just gets sorted out before the baby comes. But I'm pretty sure this is how most people found out, or at least this is how I found out. Like, it was all tied in with the arrest arrest news, which that is sad. Like, that is a sad way for a baby announcement to hit the internet. Every article you read is like, Skai Jackson reveals she's expecting a baby shortly after arrest for spousal battery. And it's like, well, like, that's not that nice to tie these two events together. And here I am doing it as well. So, you know, but yeah, I'm worried for her. It's all seeming very familiar, which is so sad. I kind of just wish one or two things. Either like Disney needs to stop making shows with kids that are under the age of like 18. Hire the whole cast of Dairy Girls. They're all like in their 30s portraying high schoolers and it works. Like, it's fine. You don't need to actually have a high schooler playing a high schooler. Yeah, so like either they need to stop hiring all these underage kids and then giving them 5 seconds of wealth and fame that's unimaginable and exploiting them and then like kicking them to the curb and being like, okay, now live the rest of your life. Or they need to change their processes, because you can't call this a coincidence at this point. Like, the fact that so many people who used to be on Disney Channel shows or Nickelodeon shows, don't even get me started on the mess with Dan Schneider and Nickelodeon, but like, why do we just keep watching this happen? It's sick. Like, it's so sick. There's no other word for it. Skai has had a few other internet controversies, definitely none as serious as this one, but just ones that are kind of like, okay, things are a bit weird, like things aren't as good as they maybe should be. So in 2020, she actually filed a restraining order against Bad Baby. Bad Baby is that girl who went on Dr. Phil that time and was like, cash me outside, how about that? Her and Skai got into some like bad blood because Bad Baby was alleging that Skai was trying to get with her boyfriend at the time, and so she created this like Finsta account and then started like threatening Skai from it, and rightfully so, Skai felt incredibly threatened by that, and so she did file for a restraining order. The restraining order has since been dropped. Skai dropped it after Bad Baby went to rehab because she was like, okay, this is evidence of her wanting to work on herself and wanting to grow and develop as a person. So she, as part of that healing journey for Bad Baby, also dropped the restraining order, which I think is nice. But yeah, still an odd situation. Like, I feel like she's hanging around maybe not the best crowds of people. Then just last year, she held a raffle for a giveaway, and it was for like an Apple MacBook computer, right? But the raffle tickets were $5 each, which isn't that much money, but it's kind of odd because, like, I guess normally if a celeb is doing a giveaway, you don't expect to have to pay for a raffle ticket to potentially win the prize. Like, you maybe have to follow some Instagram account or like share one of their posts or tag a friend or whatever, but it's just kind of odd, like $5 a raffle ticket to potentially win an Apple MacBook. Like, I don't know, it's just a little bit odd. She did defend herself on a TikTok live. She was like, have you guys never done a raffle before? Like, you're meant to buy the tickets. That's very normal for a raffle. Like, it's not wrong, but why would she not then make it a charity raffle? Like, if people were going to, you know, if we were going to do a regular raffle type thing, people usually do raffles to raise money for like fundraising or charity. So I feel like doing that without the charity element just seems a little bit sus. She did say that with the raffle entry money, she was going to purchase the prize, the Apple MacBook, and then with anything left over, she would go to like a second giveaway and a third giveaway. She was like, you know, I'm not trying to make this money for myself. And she goes on to say, like, I don't need more money, guys, trust me, I don't need more money. And maybe she did just want to make a fun raffle for her followers, I don't know. It is just still strange to me because she has like 8.9 million followers on Instagram. So let's say like if 1% entered the raffle, that's like 89,000 people, right? So if they all bought one raffle ticket, that would be $450,000. And the most expensive MacBook is like $3,000 US. So like, girl, you're going to be doing thousands of giveaways at that point. Like, it just doesn't really add up. It wasn't anything as bad as the arrest that she had recently, but I don't know, the restraining order with Bad Baby, like, she's hanging around the wrong crowds, she's doing weird raffle cash grabs on Instagram and TikTok, and now she's getting arrested. And I truly hope she's okay, and I hope that there are people in her team or in her family or in her corner that are looking out for her, because like I said, we've just seen too many Disney kids go down a dark road. I don't want to see that anymore. Like, it's so distressing to see it every time. This is one where I think we're seeing like warning signs right now, and I really hope it doesn't escalate into anything further. So all that to say, I guess we're rooting for you, Skai, and like, I hope you're okay, girl, and I hope that you get yourself sorted with this mess and put this arrest behind you in time for your baby. Okay, on to some lighter news. Doja Cat and Joseph Quinn were spotted together holding hands. Another couple holding hands. Everyone's holding hands these last couple weeks. But the reason why this moment is so important to me, or why I'm so passionate to talk about this, is because it has been in the making for 2 years. So Joseph Quinn, he's an English actor. He's done like minor roles here and there, but I reckon he's most well known for playing Eddie Munson in season 4 of Stranger Things, which came out in 2022. And Eddie Munson, like, the character very quickly became a fan favorite, I guess, on TikTok. He was like a TikTok edit muse, particularly when season 4 dropped. There was just a lot of fan edits about Eddie Munson, and then of course you had the subset of people who then started thirsting. Like, it was all very TikTok hyped. And 2 months after season 4 drops, so right in the middle of the TikTokification of Eddie Munson, I guess, Noah Schnapp, who plays Will Byers on the show, that little kid with the bowl cut who goes missing in season 1, he goes on TikTok and shares these screenshots of a DM exchange between him and Doja Cat. And, you know, she's messaging him like, Noah, can you tell Joseph to hit me up? Wait, no, does he have a girlfriend? And then he replies like, lol, slide into his DMs. And Doja says like, I don't know his Instagram or his Twitter. He doesn't have a DM to slide in. And then Noah like shares Joseph Quinn's Instagram account with her and is like, right here, ma'am. So this was all back in 2022. And this whole exchange is so funny to me, because I'm just like, why did she go to Noah Schnapp? Like, he's like 17 at the time. Surely someone in her team could have found Joseph Quinn's Instagram account for her. Like, or surely someone in her team could have reached out to someone in his team and done it through the official channels, quote unquote. But she instead goes to his 17-year-old co-star and is like, hey, can you like tell him to DM me? Now, of course, Noah shares this whole exchange on TikTok because he's 17. Of course he's going to share it. And she gets so annoyed with him. Like, she goes on live, she like calls him a snake. This is one of my favorite petty feuds. I don't know why I like it so much. I think it's just so crazy to me when adults like have these beefs with kids on the internet. It's just, anyway, she like calls him a snake. She says she thought she could trust him and that he'd be chill, but then he shared something she wasn't comfy with him sharing. And like, I'm not saying he was right to share that, okay? It is a breach of privacy, I guess, to share messages between you and someone else without their consent. But also, he's 17. Who saw this coming? Everyone. Everyone could have seen this coming. Like, there's no way that I would message something confidential to a teenager with a massive following who's probably gonna talk about it on TikTok. Anyway, Noah did eventually apologize to her and there was no bad blood between them, which is good. But we never like got another update on this, or I don't think Joseph Quinn ever talked about this whole thing. And I guess everyone just kind of forgot about it, right? Until now. Nearly 2 years. Actually, I think it's over 2 years since that whole mess with Noah Schnapp happened. And Dumois, which is like the Instagram gossip account who posts a lot of like celebrity sightings and stuff, they drop a video of Joseph and Doja Cat and they're like holding hands, his arm is around her and like on her back and stuff. And you know what? Good for her. This is your sign that You know, if things seem bad or cringe or whatever right now, 2 years, you could still get the outcome you were hoping for, even if things in the now aren't going your way. So yeah, let this be your inspirational lesson, I guess. Okay, and then the last trending topic I want to talk about is when Macklemore accidentally assisted police in Slovakia. So crazy. So he was performing at Love Stream, which is a festival in Slovakia, and while he's singing his song Downtown, he like pulls a fan on stage to join him. And you know, there were a lot of videos that fans captured of her on stage, and you know, she was like singing along with Macklemore and dancing and running around with the mic and stuff. And she herself, the fan herself, was also sharing these videos of her on stage with Macklemore on the internet, as you would, like everyone's dream to be picked out by your favorite artist to join them on stage. Yeah, like I said, she's having a blast. She is making the most of this moment. She's vibing to Macklemore's song Downtown, but little does she know, she's about to be taken downtown because a citizen in Slovakia, they see one of these videos and they recognize the woman, the fan that Macklemore pulled up on stage. They recognize her from a website that documents wanted fugitives. Now, I've seen the videos of this fan on stage, and maybe this citizen just has like the best facial recognition in the world, but like they're concert videos, like they're blurry, they're not HD. I don't know if I'd be able to identify her so confidently from seeing like a wanted poster by the police. Either this citizen has like the best facial recognition in the world, or she knew the person. Like, I reckon she knew the person, because you could recognize someone like that if you already knew them, I reckon. But the fan's definitely not like crazy distinct looking or anything like that. Anyway, this person informs the police, and then the fan is arrested because she needs to serve a prison sentence that she hadn't served yet. So there you go. Macklemore, not Macklemore, bringing the fugitives on stage, which got me thinking, like, who is your artist that you would go to prison for? Honestly, mine is Lana Del Rey. And I would treat it exactly like this girl did. Like, I would go up on that stage and then I would just have the best 2 minutes and 45 seconds of my entire life, and then happily go and like rot in prison after. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, let me know who's your artist that you would do that for. Because she had to have known this was risky business, right? If I was a wanted fugitive and I was at a concert and then maybe Hosea wants to pull me on stage, like, I really like Hosea, but I would be like, no, like I'm gonna have to politely decline because this moment isn't gonna be worth going to prison for. Hopefully all of that makes sense. But those are the trending topics that I wanted to cover for this little bonus episode. As I said, I will be back on Sunday with another feud episode, but in between I will be doing these bonus episodes to discuss trending topics. So if there's a particular topic that you see coming across your For You page that you want me to discuss in the next Mood for News episode, be sure to send those through to me on Instagram. Remember to rate, review, subscribe, follow, whatever the show. Yeah, it truly means so much to me. And thank you so much for listening to this little bonus episode. I hope you guys are killing all of your goals this week. I hope you are staying out of feuds. And I hope that if you're lying on the internet right now, that you're going to lie convincingly. And outside of that, I will be talking to you guys next week. Bye!